Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of History Hobo Plays TimeGuessr. Starting at a reasonable time today, not late like yesterday. Hopefully we can get a better score. That last round on yesterday's game was almost impossible. I don't know how you would ever get New Mexico out of that. If you did, well done. Let's see if we can do better today. Let's get into the game. Okay, here we go. Okay, President Wilson is deceiving the world when he appears as the prophet of democracy. President Wilson has opposed those who demand democracy for this country. He is responsible for the disenfranchisement of millions of Americans. We in the world know this. The world will find him out. So we're talking about Woodrow Wilson, who was president during World War I believe, which would kind of fit with the outfits. Is this some kind of suffragette protest or something like that, maybe? Or demanding, I'm not sure if the American protests were called the suffragette movement, but some kind of demanding the right to vote for women. Obviously, we're at the White House, so we've got a pretty easy location to start with. I'm not sure on Woodrow Wilson's dates. I don't want to go to New York, but I'm pretty sure he was president during the First World War. Let's go to the White House. We must be at the... let's see, which are we at the front or the back here? So that's the side we're on. So we must be on this gate, slightly to the side, maybe about here, something like that. I want to click a bit further back because they're stood against the fence, so maybe like here. Okay, that's good. Now the year. I'm thinking, was it? Sure, must have been World War I era. So just prior to the war or after the war? Don't know if he served 2 terms as president or not. I might go before World War I here. I might go maybe 1912, 1913, something like that. Let's go 1913. Oh, it's after the war. That's a shame. Okay, so members of the National Women's Party protesting as part of the Watchfires of Freedom demonstrating. So it was this kind of suffragette movement. Just the wrong side of the war, unfortunately. I knew there wouldn't likely to be too many protests during the war, but yeah, before or after. Location 6 meters away, though. It's not bad. Okay, this must be Cuba, I would assume. Is this the building that's like a copy of the Capitol building? Yeah, one of my subscribers mentioned this. This car shouts Cuba from a mile away as well. And so do these streets, really. We've got a street name. Is it Aguacate? Something like that. Do we have any other street names? It's a place I would really love to visit at some point. Yeah, so we're definitely going to be in Havana. If we can find this building in Havana, it might help us. I don't know if it's going to be on. Or could we find it from satellite? Possibly. We might have to zoom quite far in. I'd assume it's fairly central. Is it this building? I think it might be this building. So we would be along this street. We're pretty straight onto it. We're either going to be this side or this side. It's hard to tell from the perspective. So, but if we can find Aguacate or something around here. From these, it would be a little side street. Aguacate there. Okay, so we're on Brazil Tenente Rey, and we're just short of Aguacate. There we go. I think that's a good location. Now the year, Cuba is always a bit difficult to tell. It looks fairly modern clothing wise. Looking at this guy, He looks like he's sliding a phone into his pocket here. So we're in phone age, obviously. These ladies' dress looks pretty modern too. Can't see if everyone's got a phone out there. Obviously tourists. I love the security system on this vehicle. Just wrapped it up with a chain. That's awesome. That's like some Mr. Bean level security there, if you know what I'm talking about. So this phone doesn't look massive, but it is gold by the looks of it. He's blinged it out. This could be modern day, and I'm going to regret if I don't go modern day here. Fashion looks very much modern day. But it also could be like 2018 or something. I think I'm going to go early. 2018, let's go for it. It's 2017, thank God. So we weren't on Aguacate, what? Is there another Aguacate, or does that just mean side street or something? Now that is very suspicious to me. How can we have the street name that I've found here and no street name that matches it? I don't know when people point their locations, whether they do it correctly or not, because sometimes this street is definitely this street here. So I've been screwed out of some points there, that's for sure. I wonder if anyone else is going to find that problem. It does look like we're a bit further away, whether there's a different street called that, but the fact none of these say Aguacate. It's hard to tell perspective as well when you're this far away. It's not a terrible score. So a street scene in Havana after the revolution, US imposed embargoes on Cuban cars, on importing cars into Cuba. Yeah, most people know that. We're kind of equidistant. I'm just looking at this because this is only one street, one gap, and then onto the main street. This is definitely wrong because that is one street. There is no way that this is this tiny square here. Like there's 2 or 3 buildings in this square. Look how many buildings there are before that building. So that is 100% wrong. I think that's been placed incorrectly. And I'm pretty sure my location was correct there. It happens. I've had that happen before, but it's a shame. That's why I was suspicious about yesterday's New Mexico round, because Virginia plates in New Mexico doesn't make sense at that age to me. Okay, we're in the UK here by the looks of it, or Northern Ireland, one of the two. Yeah, this is a UK train sign. UK old number plates. Try our new trains, London to Manchester, 2.5 hours. If it doesn't get cancelled, that is. Okay, Golden Jubilee. People's dispensary for sick animals supporting entire communities. That almost looks like a London Underground sign, so are we in London here? Possibly. Got a lot of minis. Golden Jubilee, I'm not sure how many years golden is. I'm not great on those anniversaries. It might be 10. If it's 10, then that would put us in 63. Oh, this dog looks exactly like my dog. He's a black German Shepherd like mine. Let's see. Is golden 10 years? I don't know. But that would put us in 63 if she became queen. Elizabeth became queen in 53. Is it 73 though? I don't know if 20 years is golden. These are minis, are fairly 60s-ish cars. Most of these cars look pretty 60s-ish. Although did the Mini come out in early 60s or late 60s? Could this be 73? I'm going to have to look at the fashions in a minute and see. This looks more 60s fashion. But I need to look at the people. Can't really see their trousers. That's what I was hoping to see if they had some trousers on. See if they had flared trousers on, but I'm not sure. Don't know what this vehicle is. I don't know when the trains were. Like the London to Manchester train line was built. 60s or 70s would make sense. Is this going to be 63? I think I'll leave it at 63. I'm not sure. I need to learn those golden things. I think golden might be 20 though. That's what I'm just... I'm going to regret changing it if I don't change it. Well, if I do change it, I'm going to regret changing it. And if I don't, I'm going to regret. So I'm going to actually put it at 73. I don't know if the Mini was early 60s or mid 60s as well. And there's quite a few of them. These cars could work for 70s too. Right, let's think about where are we then. I think we're in London just based on this sign here. We'd be in an outer suburb of London if we were. It's London to Manchester. So we could possibly be in Manchester, but you wouldn't really see that tube sign there. Anything else? Ovaltine. It's a classic drink. Don't think anywhere in the world has anything like Ovaltine. It's like a malt drink, like a warm thing. It helps you fall asleep before on the night time. It's quite nice. Have you ever had Maltesers? It tastes like the inside of Maltesers. Matthews, McFisheries, Estate Agents, Miller's Laundry, Goods and Grillo. Really doesn't tell me which part of the country we're in. I think I'm going to go London just because that sign could just be a shop or a business that thinks it's cool to have that sign. But I'm going to go North London, somewhere near the train line. The train line going up to Manchester would go this way. So I'm going to go around here somewhere. Wherever I put it. Hampstead seems to be reasonable. Okay, let's go for it. Let's see, is golden 20 years or is it 10 years? Oh, it's 15 years. So neither of the ones that I was thinking about. Okay, it was Watford. So it's kind of outside of London, but not terrible. It is on the line to Manchester. So floats driving through the street on the annual streets on Watford during an annual carnival parade. I was wrong on both counts, so it wouldn't matter if I did change it or didn't change it because I was 5 years off either way, or 6 years off. So it must have been just prior to the Jubilee, maybe. Or maybe it's the Golden Jubilee of their parade. I have no idea. It could be. It might not even be anything to do with the Queen. Just usually when you call it something a Jubilee, I associate it with how long the Queen's been in power, but... Okay, it's an interesting one. Not immediately familiar. It looks a little bit like Nepal, just from what the buildings that I've been to in Kathmandu. I did go to Nepal in like 2018, not long after the big earthquake there. And this kind of building kind of works for there. I'd like to see some writing if I can. Also the huge number of mountains in the background. Huawei, that doesn't really help me. Let's play Asian paints. So we're in Asia. Could it be India though? That's the question. That's Tuborg, so that doesn't really help me. Danish beer, I believe. Yeah, so my thought is Kathmandu. I can't see any writing. Is this like the paint festival? Yes, it is. They have these all over the world now, though. Never saw the appeal myself. I can't read these writings. Something escape. Something, I don't know. I'm not sure what that says, but Cosmo de Cafe. There's a fair amount of English, but Kathmandu does have a fair amount of English because there's a huge number of tourists that go there. I don't specifically recognize this tower though in Kathmandu. Does it have a year on this Asian paints thing? Oh, it's Holi Festival. That's more of a, that's a Hindu festival, I believe. But Hindu, obviously, I think Nepal is a mix of Buddhist and Hindu. So it could still be Nepal. Or obviously it could be India as well. The amount of English, though, leads me more towards Nepal than India. And these hills in the background. Is there any other temples that I might recognize in the background here? Not really. We've got cafes on the rooftops, which is quite common in Nepal as well. Chinese restaurant up here with something. Yeah. This could quite easily be India. I'm not sure, but I'm going to go Nepal. I'm going to go Kathmandu. The other big place in Nepal is Pokhara, which is quite popular with the tourists. But I don't think this place is as big. But it could quite easily be there. I didn't go to this place. But the size of this place seems more Kathmandu-esque to me. And Kathmandu is fairly large. Yeah, see, it's pretty large, and it sits in a basin, kind of, with like big hills and mountains surrounding it. Whereabouts in Kathmandu, I would not be able to tell you. There's a lot of temples in Kathmandu. I think roughly where I stayed. It might have been around here where there's the bars and stuff like that. I think this is probably the area that I did stay. So we'll go around this area just because there were, I think, more temples to the south though. People's Plaza, could we be in People's Plaza? Let's see. It doesn't zoom in enough. It doesn't even look like a plaza there, really. Oh, is this the plaza? I think I'll just leave it where it is. Now, this kind of a fairly modern phenomenon. These paint festivals. I know Holi Festival always included paint, but having tourists go there and being sponsored by Huawei and stuff like that is more modern, I would say. It's all for the Instagram pictures most of the time. People do seem to be on phones. I'm drinking beer. Let's see. It looks fairly modern. But Tuborg, everyone's drinking a beer by the looks of it. I think I'm gonna go. Should I go modern day on this? There's not a huge amount of clues. definitely on a phone here. I think this one's probably also on a phone. Let's go. Pre-COVID, post-COVID. Let's go 2022 on this one. 2015, damn it, was pre-COVID. And it was Nepal at least. So my locations have been pretty good today. It was further south, I thought so. Could we see this building on the satellite? If you could make that out on the satellite, I'd be impressed. It's such a densely packed city. Not great on the year there. Okay, next round. Is this the last round? We'll be lucky to get 42,000 here. See if what we can get out of this. It's America. We have dollars. There's 30,000 stock of ladies and men and boys' clothing, furnishings, boots, shoes is now in the hands of the Boston Brokerage Company, who will throw the entire stock on the market at the mercy of the public. The stock must be sold in 10 days. This sale will continue 10 days longer. Last chance until Wednesday, the 28th of August. I wish they'd said what year. Don't miss it. This means think well and profit by it. This is a chance of a lifetime. Interesting. Boston Brokerage Company. Are we going to be near Boston? Possibly. Is this a Wall Street crash thing? They're liquidating everything just prior. Maybe just prior to the Wall Street crash. They're trying to profit out of their build up stock. They've gone public when they probably shouldn't have, maybe. Fashion wise, quite old fashioned. I would say it would fit for the 20s possibly. Maybe even earlier, really. Boston Brokerage Company. I think Boston's the only clue there then. The house kind of reminds me of one of those old plantation houses, but don't know if it is. This is not going to be an easy round. So if we're near Boston, it seems kind of warm for Boston. That's what it strikes me. Let's go put it up near Boston at the moment. Maybe it's the summer though, so it could still quite easily be near Boston. Maybe somewhere in Massachusetts as opposed to actually in the city. Maybe like Worcester, somewhere like that. Hedges a bit inland. This could be anywhere. It might not even be related to Boston. It could be down in the deep south for all I know. The year, is it pre-Wall Street crash? Because the stock market's crashed. You wouldn't put anything on the stock market. You wouldn't have like a public sale of stock in a company like this after the Wall Street crash. So I'm thinking it was pre-Wall Street crash here. Maybe like, I don't know how far prior to it. The crash was in 28 or was it 27? I think it was 28. Let's think, was it maybe 25 works? Hard to say. I think that this clothes look a bit older though. I wish we had some hats to work off. I've got no hats. That's not good for me. This almost looks like 1905 clothing, and if I'm 20 years off, I'm going to regret it. But $30,000 in stock in 1905 would be millions and millions today. Well, 30,000 even in 25 is probably still millions today. So there must be a fairly wealthy family. I don't know how much the stock exchange was going that early. I'm sure it was around probably for well before that, but wish you'd put a year here. Oh, Wednesday, August 28th. It's not the it's not. Yeah, that 28th is the date, unfortunately. I would assume. You wouldn't just have it on a random Wednesday. Let's go 25. I'm going to regret this. It was 10. Wow, it was earlier. Damn it. Yeah, so banner advertising the sale of clothing goods on the Boston Brokerage Company. I don't know anything about the Boston Brokerage Company, and it was actually smack in the middle of Boston. So I should have just gone with Boston there. That is a poor score to finish. That's going to have a fairly low score for the day. Yeah, 41,589. It's low for me anyway. That's going to drag my average down a bit. Let's make this a bit bigger. Don't know why it keeps defaulting back to a smaller size now. So it's not the worst. At least we're in the 40,000 still. But my score's dropped below 46 for the average for the month. It's a shame. Let's have a look at that breakdown here. Locations are pretty good. Just the years were off today. And that last one was a killer. So first one, wrong side of the war. Perfect location. Should have gone after World War II. Second one was Havana. I am pretty sure that my location is correct based on that street name. I might send a message to the developer, see if you can check that, because that is definitely wrong. There's no way that we're that close to this building, and the street names do not match. Next one, we were a bit far out, and 6 years off. The Jubilee confused me there. But Watford to North London isn't that far. Was that this one? Next one, Kathmandu, 7 years off. It was hard to get a year on that, but good placement in Kathmandu, I think. And Boston, 15 years off. The fashion didn't fit for that era. I don't know why I didn't follow my instinct and go on the fashion on that lady there. Because I said it was around 1910, which would have been closer than what I put it at anyway, even if it wasn't 1910. But, yeah, never mind. Hopefully we'll do better tomorrow. I'll see you then. Bye.